All right. If you are wondering why you are not getting interviews, you have found yourself in the right place today. Now, I appreciate your patience. Normally, you all know I'm typically live at this time, but I'm having some technological issues with the internet here on the island, which that will be resolved here very soon. But nonetheless, I still want to make sure that I provide you all with some form of value today. So I appreciate your patience. But I want to talk about this topic because I have had many strategy sessions with a lot of clients, and this question by far is the question that I'm asked consistently, especially for clients that are looking for help in interview preparation and etc. Now, why you're not getting interviews and how to fix it is what we're going to talk about today, and I'm going to provide you with 3 reasons right now why you are maybe not getting interviews and what we can do to fix it. So on each slide I share with you, we'll talk about the reason, but we'll also talk about some strategies in mind to help you as you're navigating this time. I do want to say this is somewhat timely. Today is April the 24th, 2025. So depending on what time or when you're watching this video, some of this may be different. However, a lot of the information that I'm going to share with you today is going to absolutely be able to help you regardless of the situation that you are in. And you're always welcome to leave me a message, contact me, excuse me, and reach out to me and just let me know what questions you may have so I can support you on your journey and help you overcome some of these challenges. So I want to know in the chat, since we're not live like I like to be normally during this time, let me know what are some challenges are you having? Are you experiencing this situation? If are currently in a career transition or trying to go into another role, are you not getting interviews either? Let me know in the comments below, and I will provide you with as much insight as I can and really support you on your journey. So, one of the first reasons why you may not be getting interviews right now is because we are in uncertain times. Companies are really taking this seriously, and it's interesting because a couple months ago, I had a conversation with a individual, and the conversation we had was very interesting. This individual works in the private sector, and this individual specifically mentioned how they were happy that things were being basically addressed in the federal government and etc. And so, if you do not know, many people have lost their jobs, and we have a lot of things that are going on as it relates to tariffs right now, which some of that is being addressed. But companies are taking it seriously. There's been a lot of changes with the stock market. It's went down to historic levels within the past month that we have not seen in many decades. And if you think for one moment, if you're in the private sector and the public sector, that just because there's changes with the stock market and tariffs and etc., that it does not impact you, you are living in a fantasy world. And I will tell you that quite straightforwardly, because a lot of people think that it will never impact them until it actually does. And I mention this because when times are uncertain, companies have to pause. They have to wait. They have to see how things are going to work out. So you may be applying for a lot of positions that were available, but perhaps now with some of the changes that are going on globally, companies may say, you know what? We may need to just wait on hiring these individuals for the time being until there's a bit more stability with the market. I'm telling you this from the over 20 years of experience I have as a C-suite executive, as a manager, as a director, that this is what happens behind closed doors. We have these conversations when there's changes, and sometimes we just completely have to halt. There are hiring freezes. There are a lot of other things that happen when times are uncertain. So you may be wondering, well, this is completely beyond my control. I don't know what to do. What can I do right now when I'm applying for these roles in uncertain times? The best course of action that I can tell you to do is to still continue to apply. I would never tell you not to apply. But even though things are uncertain, there still are companies out there that are still hiring. And so when you see a job posting that is made available, the one thing that you can do is to apply for those positions immediately, because the earlier that you are in the application process, the better things will be for you. And I encourage you to sign up for alerts. I know on LinkedIn they have different job alerts. I believe on Indeed they have different job alerts as well, to make sure you are notified when these new positions come up. So you have to be on top of it. You really have to be very much into your devices, whether you're on your laptop or whether you're on your cell phone. I recommend cell phone because most of us are out and about, unless you just so happen to be on your laptop quite a bit. But make sure that you apply for these positions quickly, very quickly. And what does that mean? The way for you to apply for positions very quickly will be to make sure everything is in line. You have everything in place that you need to apply for a position very fast. On LinkedIn, they do make it very easy. On Indeed, they do make it very easy for you to click and apply for positions. So if you have your updated resume or your updated CV available, then you should be able to apply for these positions very, very quickly. So this is definitely one of those scenarios where the earlier you apply, the more chances you have of being looked at when you are experiencing uncertain times, because there are companies that are still hiring for positions. They are. But keep in mind, there's some positions that they may not be hiring for right now, and this is just where we are. So there is a bit of waiting game that's there, but I know many of you are not in the position to wait. And so I would just apply for these positions as quickly as you can, as soon as they are posted. Another strategy I would recommend for you, especially when you're in uncertain times, is to place yourself in a situation to do things differently. We are in a very digital age where everyone applies for positions online, and that's how we apply for roles. However, if you are looking for opportunities in a local area and perhaps you have applied for a position or you see they have an opening for a position, it is not a bad idea to see if you could potentially visit the organization or communicate with someone there specifically to see if you could ask questions about the organization or start to build some form of a relationship in person. I had a conversation with a client of mine recently about something like this, and she was really struggling with jobs also. And she was in a higher ranking role, but she was making a career transition. And so what she decided to do was she went to local organizations within her geographic radius that felt comfortable to her, and she started going to them and just having conversations. What ended up happening for her is that she was able to find a position. So these type of things do really work. These strategies do work. It's just a matter of, do you feel like you're ready to do it? Now, I do not encourage you to go around your town and drive all over the place for new opportunities. Not that. You want to be a bit more strategic about it. Look at the companies, see what they have going on. Have they received any additional funding, or maybe they have secured a particular project here recently? Something along those lines. You have to figure out what it is specifically that is drawing you to the company, and if you have the ability to communicate with someone there just to start having a relationship. I know many times people would stop by the offices that I've worked at and managed, and they would just drop off their resume and they would talk to the front office, and those would be the individuals that would likely get hired if they interviewed very well. So don't underestimate the power of you being able to be yourself and be in front of people in this digital age. So I hope that this particular strategies help you in these uncertain times. We will get through it. You will find the opportunity, but you may have to do things just a bit differently. Be on top of the actual job descriptions when they're posted, and then try to do something different locally to gain more visibility there. Now, the next reason why you may not be getting interviews is because the job market is highly competitive right now. As I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of people that have been laid off from positions on the government side and in the private sector. It is a tough time right now. It is a tough time, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it. This is just something we're going through right now. But I mention this because we have a lot of people that are looking for jobs. And if you are in the position where you're trying your best to interview for roles and perhaps you're going to the interview phase but nothing is happening, it's because they may have found somebody else that they liked a little bit better. And some of the reasons why you might not be getting your actual interviews is because it's so competitive. So we're going to go into reason number 3 in a moment that ties directly into this. But I want you to be aware of that. It is a highly competitive job market right now. So this is a great opportunity for you to take a look at your experiences, take a look at your skill sets, and truly think about what makes you amazing. I know you're amazing because you're watching this channel. You're subscribed to my channel, hopefully. And you're learning a lot in terms of being a woman in leadership and leadership strategies, real world leadership strategies that will help you accelerate your career growth and earn more money. So I know you have a lot to offer. So let's think about it in a quiet space in terms of what it is that makes you competitive compared to everyone else. If you need some support with this, I have a lot of resources here on my YouTube channel. I typically go live every day, Monday through Friday, around about the same time. And there's a lot of great information about interviewing, some skills and tips and etc. So you just want to make sure that spend some time on my channel, watch a few videos. But if you need that more customized support that will really help you make that transition, then feel free to reach out to me at any of the social media platforms that I have. I'll share that with you toward the end. But reach out to me and I'll be happy to have a strategy session with you. Let's talk about where you are, where you're trying to go, what challenges you're facing right now, and how we can help you move forward. So what are some things you can do right now in a highly competitive job market? Well, first, we need to hone in on your skills and make sure that your skills are being reflected in every touch point, every cover letter, every interaction you're having with the prospective employer. Another thing, too, is to make sure that your profiles that you have are being showcased in such a way to show your expertise. So whether you are using your LinkedIn profile as somewhat of your resume, or perhaps you are on Indeed and you have a profile there, it truly needs to reflect the very best version of yourself, especially for the roles that you are applying for. So that's a strategy that will help you to be a bit more competitive in a very highly competitive job market. In addition to reason number 1, in terms of what I mentioned to you about being able to be on top of things in these uncertain times. Now, I want to go into the reason number 3 as to why you are not getting interviews, and that is the most famous of them all, and that would be your resume. There is a process to the interview way of things, and I'm sharing this from you from the Rollover C-Suite. So what happens when you submit a position? There's a company. Let me go through the process with you, share with you some backstory, some insights that you may or may not be aware of that may be good refreshers. So what happens? Something happens. There's a void. There's an issue. There is a position. Someone left or they went to another role or a department is restructuring and they need to find somebody for a position. What do? They will communicate with the human resources department or whoever they have that is managing their postings for positions. They post a position in hopes to get an applicant. The hiring manager for those positions will receive all of the resumes for the most part. Or if they have a filtering system that they're doing with their human resources department or perhaps someone else on their team, someone else on the team may filter them as well. So keep in mind, you have 2 scenarios. Either the hiring manager may be looking at your resume directly, or your resume may be reviewed by somebody else that's not even going to be hiring you. So you want to make sure that your resume is where it needs to be. A lot of companies are using different types of applications and softwares to screen resumes as well to make things more automated. This is, of course, where AI comes into play. And you want to make sure that your resume reflects those very important keywords that are listed in the job description. You would be very surprised by how often people will apply for positions, but their resume does not reflect that same level of expertise or some of those keywords that the job description has. And then they apply for as many roles as possible. And as many of you all know, applying for jobs is like a full-time job. It can completely drain your energy and wear you out. But they're doing all this energy, and at the beginning there was a problem. The resume did not reflect what they were looking for in the job description. So take a few moments when you're applying for these roles and positions. Look at the job description very carefully and see if there is something that you perhaps may need to add to your resume to make it more in alignment with what they're looking for. Now, there's a lot of different rule of thoughts out there as it relates to resume. Some people say resume should be customized for every job that you apply for. Some people say that they don't. Personally, for me, and this is just me being very real with you all, as I always am, I personally would not have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 resumes out there. I think that's a complete waste of your time. I believe that if you have a certain type of position you are applying for, there are ways for us to be able to get a good sense of what these positions are looking for in terms of their requirements and to place some of those keywords in your resume. This is something I do with my clients all of the time, and they have found it to be successful to the point where they've been able to get jobs and they have been able to receive a lot of positive feedback about their reviews once we have reviewed them. So definitely spending time with your resume is a fantastic way to start. Make sure you have those keywords in your resume. There is a video here on my YouTube channel that talks about some of the very important things you need to have on your resume at the very beginning. So I'm not necessarily going to go into that in detail today, but I will let you know that that is available. I'll see if I can find it and put it in the description below so you have access to that. But your resume is a good place to start. So if your resume is not reflecting the keywords, the experiences, the requirements that they are looking for, then you are applying for positions and wasting your time. Sometimes it's not worth applying for positions that you know you may not be qualified for. You can spend that time applying for positions that you absolutely know that you can do. Now, if you're in a career transition and you're trying to make that change, you're not sure how to make these skills translatable, then that's the time when you need to reach out for help. So reach out to me. I've helped a lot of women in leadership be able to find transferable skills from one role to another, and that has allowed them to be able to secure employment. So if you need help with that, absolutely let me know. Make sure you have keywords on there and make sure you pay very close attention to the job description and categorize the jobs. So for instance, if you're applying for a job in a specific industry and maybe there's some variations of the position, then look at all the variations and figure out what's going to work best for you. This is something actually I do for my clients when I do a resume review for them to help them be able to see what they may be missing. And I do it from the perspective of a C-suite executive and a manager and a director. So I do have a higher level of thinking as it relates to resumes because I've looked at hundreds of resumes over the past 20 years. I've done hundreds of interviews. So I know some of the things that will make you stand out like the superstar that you are, and some of the things that will make you look like a candidate that is not confident, that should not be hired. So I want to make sure I empower you all with knowing some of these reasons why you may not be getting interviews. So if you are at a place where you need some support with your resume or you want to have it reviewed, then just reach out to me and let me know. There's different ways you can make yourself sound amazing in an interview. If you want me to do a video on that specifically, feel free to let me know. I would be happy to provide you with some insights on that and some words that you can say to just make you sound like a superstar that you are. Let me know. Let me know in the comments below if it's something that you would like to learn more about, or maybe perhaps we can even have a workshop session where you come to the workshop. We will review your resume. We'll go over a few things and talk about it and just make it interactive and fun. If it's something you all are interested in as my audience, I just appreciate you. Just let me know. I'll see what I can do for you. I do want to just recap and let you know that if you are in a situation where you are wondering why you are not getting interviews, we talked about 3 reasons today, in addition to some strategies to help you overcome them. The first reason was we are in uncertain times right now. In April of 2025, things are definitely not the way that I think many people expected them to be. But nonetheless, we're here, but there's ways to get over that. The second reason was that many people are in different positions where they are laid off, and it's a very highly competitive job market right now. And then the final reason was it could be your resume. You may need to spend some time with your resume. I have seen a lot of people in situations where they've had their resume reviewed and they've paid people for it and it doesn't look the way it should be. Make sure before you invest in resume services, interview preparation services, coaching, executive coaching, anything in general, that you really vet these individuals and you make sure that there is some level of support that's afterwards. I know that's something I pride myself on with my clients because I provide them with very high quality, high touch support. But make sure you have some support afterwards. I hear a lot of people, especially professionals, invest money in themselves and also invest money in some of the things I mentioned, and they don't get the results that they're looking for, or they're stuck and they're not in a good position. So you want to make sure you work with somebody that provides that support for you. I'm here to do that. I do that with all my clients, which is why I have the ability to really help people make that transformative change in their life. So I want to know from you what are some questions you have for me. And if you are new to me, I appreciate you joining today. And if you have been with me for a while, I appreciate you being here with me for a while. And so my name is Dr. Jacinta Lamontai. I have been in some very unique situations over the past 20 years of my life. And I am really here on my journey to help as many women in leadership as possible be able to elevate how they communicate and speak to other people and how they lead with impact and be able to help them earn more money. So I've been in some very friendly and some very contentious situations. So I understand the importance of communication and the importance of what you say and how you say it. So if you are at a point in your career where you want to be able to truly elevate to that next level, then reach out to me, schedule a call with me. We'll have some time to just talk about some challenges you might be facing right now and how you can get some support to help you move forward. I have a very exciting program that I'm offering right now. It is called the Real Executive Woman. It is a 6-part framework that helps you to go from where you are to that very highly polished woman in leadership that can manage those very challenging situations, difficult conversations, office politics, executive presence, confidence, all the things that we simply are not taught in a book in terms of how to do. So I give you real world experience, real world knowledge, real world strategies to help you move forward in your career. So if you have any high stakes situations, maybe you're dealing with some pressure at your job or in a specific role, perhaps you're in a career transition, or maybe you need help with your resume after looking at this video, or perhaps you maybe need to practice on your interview, or you just want to develop into an amazing leader, I'm here to help you on your journey. Feel free to just reach out to me and let me know. I'll be happy to help you. You can reach out to me on any one of the social media platforms that I have accounts on right now. I spend most of my time on LinkedIn, and I also spend time on Instagram as well. And of course, my main place is YouTube, being here with you all. So I appreciate you so much, and contact me if you have any questions specifically. I'm here to really help you. Leave something in the comments below and let me know your thoughts about the workshops. If that's something you're interested in, I'll be happy to schedule something to help you get on your journey and help you move faster to that next goal that you are looking for in your careers. I do want to also mention to you all, I am extremely just honored and so grateful to hit a milestone in my YouTube channel journey. And I appreciate you all so much for being a part of it. In April, early of this year, this is the 5th year of my business, and my YouTube channel has reached 50,000 views. That is a tremendous milestone for me. I know I have a smaller channel, but I'm really excited and just very blessed to be a part of so many people's lives and to have so many people have had the opportunity to really look at my content. And I just appreciate you. I just wanted to tell you thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your journey, and I appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to more. Please let me know what topics you all want to learn more about. What challenges are you facing? I can guarantee you I've probably seen majority of them at this point in my over 20 years of being in leadership and senior leadership roles. I can help you. I know it's hard out there, ladies, and I know it's hard out there just as a leader in general. So I know that my target audience is mostly women in leadership, but I do understand that there's many people that are not in my target audience that are subscribed to my channel. So I really want to still acknowledge them also, and just know that I'm here to support you on your leadership journey. The fact that you are subscribed to the channel, even though you may not be in my audience, means that you deeply care about being a leader and you want to be able to advance in your career and make that big impact. And honestly, we need that in the world today. So I appreciate you all for being present with me. Sorry about the technical issues. I normally would have been live talking about this, but I wanted to make sure that I worked around it and found some kind of way to make sure I got this information to you all. Because I know this is a question that many people are struggling with right now. And I know it's hard. It's hard out here right now when you're trying to look for jobs and it's not happening. And sometimes, even when it's not happening, think of it this way. If someone told you in 1 week, I will help you be able to interview like a pro and ace your interview, how much would that mean to you? What would that cost be to you? What would you pay for that? And I think you have to keep that in mind, because if you're feeling stuck like that, then just reach out to me. Reach out to me for some support. I'm here to help you on your journey. And if you're not at the position where you're ready to do that just yet, check out my YouTube channel, watch as much of my interview content as you can. I can only take you but so far in a video, but if we work one-on-one in a customized setting, I will absolutely help you to be that awesome leader that you want to be, and to be able to start getting some of those resumes out there and positions and roles you're looking for. So I'm looking forward to engaging with y'all, and I hope y'all have an incredible day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.